What up, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadowlog, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and are subscribed. The channel is absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Now, I'm not someone that's gonna come and jump on the Mr. Beast, bandwagon and stuff like that. Like I said, my channel's not even, monetized, so, there's no reason for me to, jump on that. But I like to study human behavior, right? I think it's interesting, right? How groups of individuals, behave when, certain individuals that they look up to or events, right, hit the fans, right? And just overall people's, defense or arguments, towards these subjects. It's all interesting when it comes to human interaction, right? So it's something that piques my curiosity, and I'm someone who doesn't follow Mr. Beast, how can I say, his content, right? So it's irrelevant to me. I have no horse in the race, right? I'm not someone that's for Mr. Beast or someone that hates Mr. Beast. You know what I mean? But I've been keeping up with the story, right? Because of overall human behavior. And it piques my curiosity of, how individuals, that don't know him, want to come out and insulting him. And at the same time, individuals that don't know him and want to come and defend him, right? People that truly don't know the individual but want to act like they do. Now, that's not to say that the stuff that's being, alleged on Mr. Beast isn't true, right? Because this is police officers, law enforcement's like, the greatest thing that could ever happen, right? Free labor, because that's what it is, free labor, People that go and dig, right, and piece together the puzzle for law enforcement without getting paid, that's like the greatest thing that they could have ever wanted, right? Because the way that they go about looking for the information is the same way that law enforcement goes about finding information, right? Having certain individuals that are, close to, the subject in question, right? Picking their brains, right, and getting stories together, just like when law enforcement has like an informant or a snitch or whatever, right, that they question, right, to get information about whatever's happening, right, using the internet, to dig up stuff, same, right. But the thing is, with law enforcement, the reason why people are like, man, how come what's taking them so long, or why? Hey, bro, they're on a time set, bro. You know what I mean? There's only certain hours in the day, bro, and there's only a certain amount of workers. You know what I mean? Because of so many things that are happening, right? So you only have a little bit of workers and a little bit of time during the day, and that's just their job, right? So once they go home, it's not like they continue the work, right? They go about their family and their day, right? While, with the internet, you have individuals that keep going nonstop, right? And multiple of them, right? Imagine if the law enforcement had the funds to be able to, have hundreds of people out there, investigating the same thing, then a lot of crimes would be solved a lot faster. But financially, they just don't have the budget to be able to do that. But the internet, that's where it comes in, right? Now, not to say that everyone's a professional, right, or stuff like that. But same thing when they get, leads that go nowhere or that were, lies and shit like that. Because, law enforcement still has to investigate those leads, right? And some turn out to be good. Some turn out to not be good. Same with the internet. Some people bring, good stuff. Some people bring, not irrelevant shit, right? So it's shit that law enforcement was still going to have to go through and get out of the way regardless, right? So the internet is just doing its job for them a lot better, right? Because of the amount of people that's doing it. So they're using the same tactics, right? So it's just making law enforcement's jobs a lot easier. Now, whether you see that as a good thing or not is, completely up to you, right? But I'm saying that, so they're not using any different tactics than law enforcement would be using, right? And a lot of these people are really good at computers and digging up shit and know what they're doing, right? They know the ins and outs of the web and all that, right? More than even detectives, right? When it comes to, computers and all that, right? So if anything, they're a great asset of what they're doing, right? When it comes to finding out this stuff about certain individuals. Now, with Mr. Beast, a lot of people defend him because he does a lot of good deeds, so I understand where they're coming from, right? He does a lot of good stuff for individuals, so a lot of people see how could somebody like this be capable of doing this and that, or having, devious behaviors. But like I said, the world, shouldn't surprise you, right? There is individuals that have done, heinous crimes and, and then turn out to do good stuff, right? It's a cover-up, drug cartel, like, Escobar, Chapo, and a few other out there have done the same thing, right? Build hospitals, build schools in the communities that need them, right? But doesn't, doesn't excuse what they're doing, right? The murders and drug sales and all that, right? So does a good deed, justify, a bad action, right? No, it doesn't, right? So just because somebody, let's say you can't pay rent, right? But then Mr. Beast goes and robs a family at gunpoint and gives you the money to pay rent. Is it okay that he, robbed the family at gunpoint in order to do a good deed for you? No, right? So individuals, just because they do good things doesn't justify their actions, right? And I understand that people see, individuals out there doing good things and, they feel some type of way. But now that's not to say, like, is there any good people, or is everyone just doing it for clout, or is everyone just doing it? Is it all an act? Now, don't take, just because one individual and his, situation and try to brand it all on everybody, right? Just because he maybe has done that doesn't say that, doesn't mean that every other person that has done a good thing has done it for a certain reason, right? Because we're all different. So don't let that now fool you into believing that everyone's a piece of shit. But yes, there is individuals out there like, say. Now, I'm not here to say that I believe the allegations, but I'm just saying that there is people that do things for certain reasons, right? So it's not surprising, right? Or it shouldn't be a shocker, right? Um, and especially if people go watch his old videos, right, and how he behaved. Now, people could say people mature and they learn and stuff like that, but you still see glimpses of those behaviors, in Mr. Beast's videos, right, that people just tend to overlook, right? And those glimpses speak value, right, because it shows a breaking character, so it shows that they're putting up an act. So things like that, while others say that it's no big deal, or it's just, like, why are you paying attention to such a little small detail like that? Actually, that's actually something that's important, right? Because it shows in breaking character, so they're playing a role. So stuff like that is more bigger than people think it is. And the saying that the videos are not fake, when clearly it's been proven that they are, right? So the fact that he's lying about that, right, and sticking to that, shows already that, well, he's not a saint like people think he is, right, either. So, there's a lot of things, that shows, a break in his, overall, or what people think of him, right? Because it's something that's not such a big deal to say that your videos are fake, so why not just admit to it? But, trying to keep this image of this goody two shoes that doesn't lie and that doesn't fake it, whatever, should already show there's some inconsistencies in his overall behavior, right? Because if somebody who does good deeds, why would they lie about some shit like this, right? Now, people could be like, oh, well, the lie is not a big deal, so why are people focusing so much on that? Exactly, it's not a big deal, so why does he continue to lie about it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's very true, right? So that doesn't help his overall situation. It just makes people question it. And why more people are jumping on board, because he refuses to admit even the most smallest mistakes. So imagine when something big comes along the way, right? What makes you think he'll admit to that? And that's where people have the problem. And like I said, as much as people say that all these people are hating on him and they're making up stuff and they don't truly know him for them to be saying this and that, well, people don't know him either to be defending him the way they do, saying that it's impossible for him to be like that, or he would never do that. How? If you don't know him, just like you say, they don't know them. It's the same thing that could be played here. Because people truly don't know him, and what he's thinking or what he's doing, right? So it could be said the same about them. Like I said, I don't have no horse in the race, and I'm not here to convince people. I'm just here to, give my opinion on this subject, right? I think it's interesting when it comes to overall human behavior and how people handle, situations like this, right? Information. And it's not to say that it's impossible, right? And not to say that the stuff is true, right? But, the evidence is, there is something going on, right? We can at least admit to that, right? Maybe not to the level that some people out there want to, paint him to be, right? But there is something, suspicious about his overall behavior. But overall, that's just my opinions, right? About the matter. Don't truly go out there and bat for someone that you truly don't know, right? And don't easily fall for people's, stuff just because, you don't know him either, right? Think for yourself, and be able to come with your own conclusions when it comes to overall individual. I'm just saying, it's just my thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Shadow, we out.